Oh, what's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Driller. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from October 3rd, 2020. Um, Impact Wrestling Plus presents Impact Victory Road 2020, a bump on the road to Bound for Glory 2020. The show took place in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Skyway Studios. Madison Rain and Josh Matthews, I meant to say, was on commentary. And Toma Wrestling were actually 9 matches that they lived up to or tends to the build up from this past week on Tuesday. And yeah, and for those who saw my live reactions too as well, thank you all for joining, for viewing. Thank you all for spending your time day and night for that one, everything. Where it tends to, me live reacting to Impact Plus presents Victory Road 2020. And we're about to get to everything that happened on the show here, especially pertains to the matches. And basically, the show itself, I thought it was pretty good. It was basically like a normal Impact Wrestling show, which I'll get to more details of it before I do. If this is the first time you're experiencing yours truly right here on YouTube as the Natural Born Driller, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. For those supporters enjoy what I'm about to do right here, if you like what I'm about to do here, hit the like button. For those haters are gonna hate what I'm about to do here, if you dislike what I hate here, to all you haters, hit the dislike button. Other way, thank you all for joining me, viewing me, spending your time day and night, coming right here to yours truly on this YouTube channel as I get ready to give you my Impact Wrestling review, where it pertains to Victory Road 2020. So the show itself, it felt like a it was like watching another episode of Impact Wrestling, except they focused more on matches than they did when it comes to segments. And there were segments on the shows too, which we'll get to when we get to it. And it was a breath of fresh air. Despite how last minutes of 2 weeks they've been building this up and not letting us know about Victory Road coming up. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe they even know that was even going to come out until they decided to do it out of the blue. Maybe if they would advise people, and give people a heads up that they're planning on doing this. Maybe people will a lot of people will watch more of it. Will tune into them. A lot more people will tune into them. I have to say. I don't know if I was the only one. Hopefully there are more that also view as well. Haven't really checked the if that was the case at all, but I don't know how you can do that either. But it depends. If you're going to Impact Plus TV to find out the whole thing. Maybe there's something there that shows there how many viewers has viewed it. Maybe I don't know if that's the case or not. Or it gets to like we're here on YouTube and everything. Where you can show how many viewers has watched, but that's not here or there. I digress in a way. But there were not mentions added here, folks. Like they said, and two of them, one was a kickoff of this special event of Victory Road right here on Impact Plus, and one match was announced earlier on that night as well, which we'll get to when we get to it. And yeah, a lot of matches I was looking forward to watching. There were matches that I was not looking forward to watching. A couple of wrestlers I was not looking forward to watching in the matches either, which we'll run through it as we run through it. But yeah, this show itself, I thought, let you all know right now, I thought it was a good show, and I'll let you all know my overall showing of the show later on. Just like I'll let you all know about my moments, basically my highlights of the night pertains to everything that happened on this very show that I watched last night. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So we get the Rascals, Dez and Wentz versus Triple XL, AC Romero and Larry D. This was the opening match. This was the match that was added on there. This is basically their kickoff of pre-show type of way, even though it wasn't really focused as a pre-show, but um this one match was added to the show here, and as far as the match was, it was pretty damn good. Both teams looked good. I didn't miss most of it, and I was having a problem watching it too. because I was using my tablet instead of my laptop. But either way, I still went back to watch it, because obviously it's on demand on Impact Plus, and I watched it. It was pretty good. Nothing's changed. It was pretty good showing for both teams. In the end, it was the Rascals getting the win over Triple XL. Guys who are small beat the guys who are large, you know, and at this point they were not in charge. Um, Size doesn't matter. So there you go. Next we get to Brian Myers defeating Tommy Dreamer. I barely paid attention to this match. I was sweeping, and there you go. I just didn't care about the match at all, and moving on. And I knew Tommy Dreamer was going to win because he never win matches, and I knew that Brian Myers was going to win. I just didn't know how it was going to end up being, but did a series of wrestling moves in this match, and do I care? No, that's just me. Also, later on, they had Tony Dreamer confronting Brian Myers and blah blah blah. They're gonna have a match again and blah blah blah. Who cares? That's just my feeling of it. Who cares? Rohit Raju, the Impact X Division champion. He did an open challenge to anyone that's willing to accept his challenge, where it tends to defend his Impact X Division championship. And sure enough, it was one of the three I thought it would be. First, I thought it was Jay Christ. Then I thought it would be maybe Willie Mack. And one jokingly, I thought it would be James Ellsworth. Like no joke of it. More tends to what they did with Eli Drake 2 years ago. And it ends up being Willie Mack, as I thought it would too. So in a way, I was kind of right. And the match between Willie Mack and Rohit Raju, they did a good match. And like I said before too, in this match, there was no way that Rohit Raju was going to lose this match without losing the belt. And I knew he was going to win either if it was Willie Mack. So I was right. So what happened in this match? It was either by countout or disqualification that Rohit Raju was going to do to prevent himself of losing the belt here. That way he can get out of the match and all that, and still be the X Division champion and say that he's so good that he's still the X Division champion and whatever have you. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. But besides that, it was a good match between these two guys. And Rohit Raju basically got himself counted out on purposely. After they had a double collision to double headbutting from out of the corner, where Willie Mack landed on flat back on his in the ring, and Rohit Raju fell down out of the ring, and that's when he took the count out. He's like, he realized, oh wait a minute, maybe just take the count out, and that's exactly what happened. So Willie Mack is going to be added in this whole situation with the X Division Championship title match. That's going to be building up for Bound for Glory. I don't know how they're going to do it, but we have to wait and see, because you still got TJP, Chris Bay, Trey Miguel, which we'll get to Trey Miguel later too as well, and Willie Mack's going to be added to that one, and who knows who else is going to be added to as well, retains to the X Division Championship. Hopefully they'll do it in Ultimate X match at Full Bound for Glory. So, but there you go. Somewhere around here, Moose was trying to find out where's EC3. He's looking for EC3, and also he's looking for Scott Demoy, because Scott Demoy, he's doing this show, Victory Row, and there's no Moose on here. And even I said the same thing too. Like, where's Moose? If since you're doing this Victory Road thing, why Moose ain't on here? He's one of your best wrestlers on the show. Why he's on there? So, Scott Demore, he decided to put in the match against Trey Miguel, and we'll get to that match later. So yeah, and the match that was added there too. So in the way they did promise us 9 matches on here, and they did, but the way they did it, it was so poorly and so cheap. But it's whatever. Tennille Dashwood with Killable for K versus Jordan Grace in the match. Basically it was a rubber match here. And this match was not better than the second match. It was not even better than the first match. I thought it was just solid as best, because Tennille Dashwood was too busy worrying about snapshots and everything, selfie snaps or whatever, and Kid with the K was doing the same thing too with the whole thing. That was a big distraction of the match, which why it was not the best match out of the 3 between the two. But also Jordan Grace had the match won on Tennille Dashwood in the match, but Kid with a K got involved, which Team that's what tapped out by the way. Is that rear naked choke that Jordan Grace uses as of Smith's move now, and she had the match won. And then in the end, it was Tina Dash who gained the win with a spotlight kick, which again I knew Tina Dash was going to win here because Tina Dash has not been on Impact Wrestling for quite a while, and she needed this win more than Jordan Grace because Jordan Grace has already been well established on Impact Wrestling, former Knockouts champion, and she's been on one of the most dominant knockouts in the Knockouts division ever until Dana Parser came in. Just saying, but Tina Dash needed this win because before when Tina Dash came into Impact Wrestling, no hype, no excitement, nothing behind her. Why we should care about Tina Dashwood to finally this thing is working out with Tina Dashwood. Where it's all about her once again, and she's got Caleb with a K, her personal full photographer and all that, doing all this for her, and she's doing her heel thing, and I think she's doing pretty well with it. Now what's going to happen with Tina Dashwood and Jordan Grace moving forward? I'm assuming it's going to be another match, but I don't know. We gotta wait and see how that turns out. But I'm looking forward to see what they do with these two move forward for Bound for Glory. You know, Heath and Rhino versus Reno Scum, Adam Dorso, and Luster the Legend in an unsanctioned tag team match because Heath is not part of the roster. He doesn't work there. So either it doesn't matter if either of the team wins. It doesn't count as a win because since Heath is part of this whole thing, is why it's called an unsanctioned match. It will not count as into the record books of the victories. So that's basically what it was. This whole unsanctioned match is all about. But as far as the match was, and by the way, Heath looked great. By the way, his outfit, attire, and everything, he looked great. I'm playing this game called this tag team match was a good tag team match. For like an old school tag team match, for like a very good just a very good thought out book tag team match that they did here. Unfortunately, with no crowds there, it would have been better if there were crowds there, but unfortunately, there was no crowds there. But in the end, it was Heath and Rhino winning the match as I thought they would, and yeah, and it was a damn good match. After the match, Heath and Rhino are celebrating backstage, at gorilla position where Scott D'Amore meets up with them. Scott D'Amore lets Heath know that great performance there. You still don't work here, but he's gonna bring him back to Impact Wrestling on Tuesday, where it pertains to no sneaking in, no having no one leaving the door open or anything, no dressing up like caravans. Just come in, you're allowed in, and we'll see what happens from there. So let's see if he is now going to be part of Impact Wrestling, which by the way, of course he is, folks. It's just a storyline, but the story here is that Heath wants to be part of Impact Wrestling. He wants to jump in Impact Wrestling, and hopefully, which is already happening behind the scenes, but still, but pertains to portraying it as a TV show on TV. Let's see he gets it, which obviously he is, but we'll see how they build this up come Tuesday. Trey Miguel versus Moose. Match itself was pretty damn good between the two. Obviously, Moose was dominant more in the match here, but Trey has some good offense in the match too as well. He tends to make a amount of comeback offense and all that. And then Moose is trying to go for his finisher here. All of a sudden, on the Titantron of EC3 shows up. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, EC3 is coming out there. And nope, instead it was just a distraction for Trey to pick up a win over Moose. So Trey got the win over Moose. And then Moose wasn't even concerned about losing. He was concerned about going to EC3, and he's probably at the production truck. So he goes to the production truck, and we got a skit behind the scenes and all that with Moose trying to find his EC3. He goes in the production truck, but he couldn't find him. He was trapped in there. Also, we see all the monitors, EC3 symbols, with the initials and all that. He finally gets out. He finally and basically he's looking for EC3 because he's still thinking EC3 is somewhere around here. Also, he sees the TNA World Heavy Championship belt that's placed right on there on the ground with candle lights, by the way, light up. He goes to it, but EC3 shows up and basically out of nowhere, basically like Undertaker and disappearance and reappeared all that thing, and attacks Moose, beats him up, cuts a promo on Moose, saying that the proper burial, the funeral of the TNA World Heavy Championship belt will happen on Tuesday, and and everything. So that's basically what it was. Basically, more building up more of this whole thing between EC3 and Moose, leading up to Tuesday, and then eventually leading up to Bound for Glory. We'll see how that turns out. But I'm intrigued with this what they're doing here. Also along the way on this show here, we have uh, Gia Miller interviewing Sammy Callahan and Ken Shamrock to explain the explanation of what they did last Tuesday, where it pertains to Ken Shamrock attacking Eddie Edwards, not just from of who attacked Eddie Edwards at first, because we didn't know who it was at first until the week later it pertains to attacking him in the ring. So instead of Ken Shamrock talking, it was Sammy Callahan talking for him, saying that Ken Shamrock is not the old Ken Shamrock that he who was once called the world's most dangerous man. Because ever since at Summerversary when they lost the tag team title match, that was not the Ken Shamrock that Sam Callahan um was teamed up with, what pertains to them being the world's most dangerous tag team. He wants to see the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, from the old days.
I feel like picking a
But
girl this time.
because they didn't get that, he still blames Ken Shamrock for losing on Summerversary against the North at the time, and basically he wants to bring back the old Ken Shamrock out of him, and in a way we kind of did see that too, by the way, when he tagged Eddie Edwards, which
Guys,
I think it's great.
I'm thinking about picking a female this time.
I think it's great, by the way, but still.
And yes, and I think I'm about picking a female.
But at the same time, Ken Shamrock's going to the Hall of Fame though, so and I don't know what Ken Shamrock's mindset is thinking of all this too as well, because Ken Shamrock, he's asking The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, to do like a video appearance, whatever, for his induction. And the last thing we need is a babyface Hollywood movie star, Dwayne Johnson, to induct a heel, Ken Shamrock, into the Hall of Fame. I don't know. But then Sam Collins says, that we're done. He says something on the line of, we're leaving out Mean Gene Miller, something like that. Oh my god, I thought that was funny. The way that Sammy Collins said it. Josh Alexander being copied by Ethan Page of the North versus Alex Shelley being copied by Chris Sabin of the Motor City Machine Guns and of the Impact World Tag Team Champions, or should I say one half of them, versus Ace Austin being copied by Madman Fulton versus Machine Gun Carl Anderson being copied by the Big LG Doc Gallows of the Good Brothers in this four-way match, which two opponents, meant to say, will be in the corners while the other two opponents are in the ring, and basically tag one another into this match. And this match was great. And also pertains to the participants that that are not involved in this match, from the outside. If they get involved, they'll be kicked out. At one point, we had Mammoth Fulton get involved, but without referee looking.
Tracy Taylor, FaceTime video.
Also, there was also teasers of involvements too, what pertains to everything happening outside the ring with Ethan Page, Doc Gallows, but nothing Felicious came out of it.
I'm actually bye.
All right, so this match was going fantastic. I think at one point Ace also may have got hurt, something. I don't know, maybe it's a minor injury that he had suffered, because it looked weird that it happened, but he looked like he was all right. But also during the match too, by the way, we get a referee bump, and then all of a sudden everyone out from the outside got involved. The ones that were not involved in the match, they start getting involved, and then all of a sudden when referee recuperates, he sees everyone from that was not in the match or getting involved, and he kicks all four of them out. So the match still, I presume, and it still ends up being pretty good until the end, where we get Josh Alexander getting the win over Alex Shelley. And so Josh Alexander gets the win, and Ethan Page comes out there to celebrate with him. And what happened after that? Nothing, because I don't know what this match was supposed to be. I don't know if it was supposed to mean anything. At the end of the day, it didn't really mean nothing. But at least we get confirmations that the North, mostly Machine Guns, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, and the Good Brothers will be facing each other at Bound for Glory in the four-way tag team match for the Impact Tag Team Championships. So what this match accomplished? Absolutely nothing. I don't know why this even had to happen in the first place. They could have done something else with this whole thing. Maybe some kind of an advantage or something like that. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what they could have done better with this, but maybe a gauntlet tag team match. Maybe I don't know. But this whole thing was a complete mess. But in a good cluster way of it. But it was still a good match. There's something else happened on the show here. I think they saw some of Rich Swan of his update status, where it tends to getting ready for his match against either EY or Eddie Edwards, which obviously it's gonna be Eddie. It's not gonna be Eddie Edwards. That's what I meant to say. But um, but yeah, you got Rich Swan, still doing his thing. He's on the road to recovery till we get to Bound for Glory. So I can't remember what else happened on the show here. Where it pertains to other segments that they did. I'm pretty sure there were also interviews as well. Like Alex Shea, that's another thing. Alex Shea got interviewed too. Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention too. By the way, when G. Miller interviewed him, and I can't remember what else other interviews that may have happened. But other than that, then we get to move on to the Knockouts Championship match between John Perazzo being accompanied by Kimberly versus Susie being accompanied by Kylie Ray. The match itself, I thought it was decent between the two, Deanna Prasso and Susie. Deanna Prasso was obviously outperforming Susie. Susie this amount some outperformance in combat as well, pertains to where she could become the Knockouts champion, which she wasn't, by the way. I knew that coming in there she wasn't going to become the champion because they're building up Kylie Ray versus Deanna Prasso instead, where it tends to Bound for Glory. So um, Kimberly got involved a little bit until Kylie Ray had enough, and Kylie Ray takes care of her. In the end, it was Deanna Prasso still ends up beating Susie by locking with double armbar, like she did with Jordan Grace back in Summerversary, and wins and still the Knockouts champion. After the match, Kylie Ray goes to attend Susie, and Deanna Prasso and Kimberly attacks both of them, especially beating up on Kylie Ray. And Deanna Prasso takes care of Susie by wrapping the steel chair around her arm and pilbanizing her, and continued to assault her with the Fujiwara armbar, while Kimberly was forcing Kylie Ray to watch on, and that was it. And there you go. And this probably lead to Susie returning pretty soon. Susie to return as Su Young, like to say. At this point, she's been traumatized. The Susie character has been traumatized after what John Prasso did, and alongside with Kimberly. Finally, the main event, the Impact World Championship. Eric Young defends it against Eddie Edwards. In the match, I thought it was decent and good. And all I can say is I'm glad that Eric Young won. Eric Young is the winner, and he won with a submission, by the way. He went for a power driver and then locks the leg and power drives him, and then go for the heel hook and gets the win. Edwards top style, and yeah, I'm glad Eric Young still wins. Now, Eddie Edwards still had a good performance in the match, but at the end of the day, I didn't care about Eddie Edwards winning. I didn't care about Eddie Edwards at all in this match. If anything, I was not really invested in this match whatsoever because of Eddie Edwards' character. And yeah, there you go. But hey, Eric Young won, and that's good enough for me there. Just to bring up Eric Young versus Rich Swan for Bound for Glory for the title. And can't wait to see the match. After the match, though, but Eric Young attacks Eddie Edwards. He wanted to beat him up more, and I'm kind of glad that he's going to do that too, because I wanted Eddie Edwards to not make it to Bound for Glory. But Rich Swann came out there, who's still still limping. He's not wearing the brace anymore, but I'm pretty sure he's on wrapped with some tapes, I guess. But he's still not 100%. But he ends up having Eric Young retreating, and then Eric Young on the stage, and then Rich Swann picks up the belt, and yeah, that's another way to build up the match for Bound for Glory. And there you go, folks. That was not Summer. I meant to say Victory Road. So that was Victory Road 2020 on Impact Plus. This was the bump on the road till we get to Bound for Glory 2020. And before I go, I already mentioned already before, folks. It was 9 matches that was total amount. they just didn't announce the two matches on the shows, coming up here till we get to to this very show, which I thought they would do that, and they did. I just didn't know how they're going to do it, but as the show was moving forward, we kind of found out how they did it. For those who watched. But anyways, here's my highlights of the nights. We'll change to Victory Road 2020. So for the night, Trey pins Moose. Shock in the night, EC3 appears. Returns to distracting Moose. Returns to Trey getting the win. Moment of the night, Heath. Wrestling on Impact Wrestling Victory Road. Promo of the night, EC3's promo returns to the whole TNA World Heavyweight Championship title funeral that he cut on Moose. Returns to him. Returns to EC3 attacking Moose outside. Video promo tonight, the Impact World Championship title match. Even though I wasn't that into it, but that's the only promo they were doing there. So, video promo. And so, there you go. Moose had the entrance of the night because why not? Because Moose is one of the greatest sports athletes who has one of the most greatest entrants, better than Triple H. Fuck Triple H. Performance of the night, Trey Miguel against Moose. Trey Miguel had an outstanding performance against him. And he gets that indeed, and plus with him winning too as well. Yes. Moving tonight, Eric Young's flying elbow drop, the way he did it just from the far distance to Eddie Edwards was pretty amazing. Finish of the night, Dez flash. The final flash, meant to say, basically the corkscrew senton or the final the spiral tap. AJ Styles spiral tap, but Dez does it too. So Dez gets that as the finisher, gets the finish of the night here with the final flash onto Larry D. Brutal match of the night, let it be the Impact World Championship match, because Eddie Edwards was in the match, so it was brutal for me to watch through it because Eddie Edwards of his character and everything. But in a good way though, basically 9% good, but 5% bad in a way. Shows the other night, the four-way match, meant to say, will potentially to Alex Shelley, Carl Anderson, Ace Austin, and Josh Alexander. And finally, match of the night, Moose versus Trey Miguel. That match was pretty good, and that was I put that up there as the match of the night for Victory Road. My overall strength for the show, the show didn't annoy me, other than Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. Josh Matthews didn't annoy me, by the way. That's another thing too. I thought Josh Matthews was going to annoy me on commentary, but he didn't. Yeah, I thought for now he was decent on commentary. Master Rain was pretty good. So my overall strength for the show works into Victory Road 2020 on Impact Plus. I'm gonna give this show an 8.5 out of 10. And that being said, folks, I am done. Hope you all enjoyed this on the stream. Hope you all enjoyed this Impact Wrestling review, the show from October 3rd, of 2020. October 3rd, 2020. For this Victory Road 2020 that was presented on Impact Plus. And again, is this the first time you're experiencing yours truly, Natural Born Thriller, right here on YouTube? Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. For the supporters, if you like what I did here, hit the like button. For all the haters that dislike this, what I did here, hit the dislike button. By the way, thank you for joining me, viewing me, spending your time of day and night, for yours truly, right here on YouTube, as I give you the best content I can. And that being said, till next time here on YouTube. So you all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself and everything that's going on in the world. Wear your mask, love one another, God bless one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. I'm out here ta for now for Is Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. Take care.